Hello, I'm Peter Crist. I'm here today to talk to you about an upcoming reading from my book in progress, All People Great and Small. People often ask me, what is your book about? And I'm realizing I'm just discovering what my book is about. When my daughter was young, she loved to hear me tell stories about my medical training at St. Vincent's. And she often liked to have me repeat the stories, and then very often she would say, "Dad, you've got to write these stories down. You could be the James Herriot of medical stories." So my title is an homage to James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small, where I've tried to capture what it's like dealing with the whole range of human beings, the people that have come and gone in my life. I've actually gotten away from just calling them stories, because some of them are just impressions. Story implies a middle, beginning, and end. Many of them have that. Some of them are just impressions of a particular moment in my experience. I think the bottom line is what my book is really about is what it's been like for me as a sensitive child growing up, interested in helping people, interested in observing the world in as open a way as I could, and dealing with the pain and suffering in the world and how hard that's been for people for me to deal with and still stay true to myself and not shut down. I didn't know it when I started writing, but the main thing that's coming to me is there are experiences that I've had that are much more universal than I realized, but also there's something unique about my own particular background. So my knowledge about orgonomy when I went to medical school has really informed a lot of what I do as a physician. So trying to capture what it's like being a sensitive human being, being a doctor at the same time. The way the medical profession is, it's very hard to really be open and sensitive and caring for people and deal with the things that you have to deal with. And then the childhood experiences. I grew up somewhat uniquely with a father who was not the authoritarian father, but he was the new generation of an anti-authoritarian father. And so some of the uniqueness of what it's like having a father like that. Many people have written books about how hard it is to have an authoritarian parent. I've captured some, I hope, of what it's like having a father who did not assert natural authority in the family. From the original inspiration from my medical stories, as soon as I started writing those, I was on vacation in Aruba in March of 2010, and I started writing the medical stories, and that brought up memories from my childhood, from my adolescence, from college years, from all periods of my life. And so the whole thing expanded into much more than just the original inspiration about medical stories. And one of the things I actually hope will come from people reading my book is some inspiration that it's possible to actually develop good doctor-patient relationships based on real human connection rather than a mechanistic approach. It's all about labs or all about the numbers. There are really two phases of my writing that I see. One is the creative part. So if I'm writing something completely new, I need an open block of time where I can just let it come to me. So most of that part of my writing happens when I'm on vacation. Sometimes I'll have a day off on a weekend where I have enough. And then the editing part where I'm honing and polishing it, I primarily just grab whatever I can, literally 5 minutes between patients. Sometimes I'm up till past midnight just trying to get some of that together. One of my best times to work on things is first thing in the morning, so sometimes from 6:30 to 8 before I start my day routine, I'll be working on them then, if I can make the time. The thing that has motivated me to write, I think, are really two basic impulses in me. One, let me show you what I've seen, and the other is please see me as who I am as an individual, unique human being. So what inspired me to take the chance of doing a reading here was I think many of the stories that I've written have a very general application, and I wanted to see how they impact people that are interested in what the American College of Orgonomy does, and I'm hoping we'll have some great discussion based on the stories. The question in my mind was, as far as what I will read, ranges from, do I want to really showcase my book, or do I want to showcase my artistry as a writer? What is it that I really want to put out there? Do I want to show some experiences from my background that would lead to some discussions about medicine and what it's like trying to be human as a physician, being a sensitive human being underneath that? And so I've decided to start off with the opening story is the first night and first week of my medical internship when I was first a physician. And that is the opening story of my book also. And then I go from there back to a story from childhood, and then up to a story from adolescence. And then the second half, after we take a break, I've picked and chosen several different stories from different periods. I thought a lot about what I'm going to include, and everybody always says less is more, but I'm going to have a hard time making it less. My honest answer to the question of what do I hope people will take away from the event, take away from the discussion, take away from the readings is, I don't really know, and that's a part of who I am, is that I have a sense something's going to happen. I don't know what it is yet, and I want to see what's going to happen. I hope what people will take away from it is wanting to know more and wanting to look at all of these questions that are in the book more than they have.
What's your favorite story?
There are several, but I think the second story in my book, called A Seed. And I won't say anything more about it. You'll need to come and hear the story. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it inspires you to come to my readings. I look forward to seeing you there.